So if you're the kind of person who is going to click on this video, you're probably the kind of person who wants to improve your life. You're probably quite ambitious and maybe you want to achieve time freedom or create an online business or do something that's pretty cool, something that's pretty different that most of your mates are interested in doing. Right now, you wake up, you go get dressed, you brush your teeth, you go have a shit, you commute to work or school, right? You drive there. Maybe you get the bus, maybe the train. Whilst you're on the train or the bus, you are watching TikTok or something, or scrolling through Instagram, or maybe your friend has sent you a message with a funny meme or something like that, right? And then you get to work or school and you kind of, you're sleep deprived, you're not feeling great, you're thinking about all the stuff you want to do, right? You want to be productive, you want to do your own kind of work, and the work that you're actually doing in your office or something like that just isn't something that gets you excited and doesn't get you motivated. You're kind of just doing it because it pays the bills, maybe your staff members that you work with are kind of okay, you get along with most of them, some of them you have like different opinions or whatever, and then you finish your day at work, you kind of just have enough energy left in you to maybe go to the gym, you have like a decent workout, you're training legs or whatever, midway through each set, you've got your phone out, you're scrolling through Reddit, your friends sending you funny memes, the lads group chat has got some like bullshit content in there that you kind of like have a bit of a nose breath of a laugh at, whatever, and you do a little bit of work, it's kind of not very productive work, and you maybe watch some self-improvement content, right? Like Hamza, and you kind of want to get motivated and in the mood, and you're watching your favorite self-improvement YouTubers teach you how to be productive and how to, get out of this rat race and go traveling and build an online business. Maybe you want to build an aesthetic physique and you're kind of using that as your excuse for like, this is my work, right? I'm listening to a podcast, I'm doing some work because I'm watching a YouTuber talk about this kind of thing. And then by that point, you're very tired, you've had some food, you've eaten some carbs, you've had some pasta, whatever your mum's made you for tea, and then you go to bed and you wake up the next day and you repeat the cycle. And there's one thing that I think throughout this whole kind of routine, which you're probably familiar with, right? Everything I've just explained there, you can at least relate to like one aspect of that in your daily routine. But there's one thing that's consistent there, is that you are addicted to scrolling through your phone. You're addicted to consuming content. And what does this do to someone? I can tell you from personal experience, my whole life I've always been ambitious, and I've always been that kind of person who's just wanted to set up a business and do something cool and have lots of money and be able to have like time and financial freedom. But the one thing that was holding me back from just doing the work, right? Because to build up a business or to create something really cool in your life, you need to have the time and brain power to actually do the work. And the one thing that was holding me back was consuming content, right? Being addicted to my phone. And what does this do to your brain? It rots your brain. So how is this video going to help you? How is you spending the next 15 minutes of your life watching me talk about this actually going to help you? Well, by the end of this video, hopefully I can teach you on how to unrot your brain. So you've probably heard of this term brain rot. It's like what happens basically when you become reliant on consuming shitty content like memes, funny Instagram reels, fucking funny YouTube shorts. Like you're just addicted to watching this kind of bullshit brain rot content that like is like kind of funny, but like you're also aware that when you're watching it, it's kind of silly and stupid and you're kind of just still watching it anyway. This kind of rots your brain over time, right? It makes you become like a little bit of a retard, okay? And hopefully by the end of this video, I can teach you how I have been able to, one, stop watching this content because that's really the cause of it, right? You just are watching it. And two, to actually unrot my brain and to get motivated again and get excited again about working, okay? Because this, to most people, like recording a video or doing the work required to build that business that you want to build, isn't necessarily fun, okay? It's probably more fun to scroll through social media and to consume kind of like brain rot content. To continue rotting your brain is kind of like the chill time, right? It's more fun to do that. And I don't find that fun anymore. I find that a waste of time. I kind of feel like a bit of a loser when I'm doing that. And I would rather do this kind of stuff because it makes me feel good, right? It makes me feel good to upload and record and edit these videos onto this channel, even if the channel doesn't do well. So hopefully by the end of this video, I can convince you and give you some advice on how you can unrot your brain and use your brain to actually set you on the right path, right? Go forward in life and make progress rather than just being addicted to watching content and continuing to rot your brain like you probably currently are. So the first thing that I want to talk to you about is identifying what brain rot actually is. Like, brain rot is this kind of non-scientific term, right? Like, obviously, if your brain was rotting, then you'd be dead, okay? So like, what is actually brain rot? So there's certain content that you can consume online, that like certain types of content on YouTube and Instagram that I wouldn't consider to be brain rot content. Although I'm like a big advocate for getting rid of social media and staying off of social media because I think it's bad, there's certain things that you can find on social media that are pretty good, like motivational stuff that like when you watch it, you get inspired. I'll give you a good example. In the fitness space, you have YouTubers like Noel Diesel, if you know who he is. And he actually gives, some of his videos are kind of like brain rot, I'd say, like kind of memes, but some of his videos are actually really good, like really motivational. He can give good advice in terms of like meal prep, okay, which is like where you prepare all your meals if you're on a strict diet, so that when you come to cook, you've kind of already got it all prepared and stuff like that, like healthy food. So he can give good advice on that. He gives really good motivational advice as well. So like when you're watching some of his videos, he gives good, like he can actually motivate and inspire like myself, right? Sometimes when I watch his videos, I actually get pretty inspired, and I think that's actually some really good advice. As well, the kind of content that you're watching now, okay, me, on this channel, I've kind of, from the get-go, ever since starting this channel, the goal of this channel and what I want to give, the value that I want to provide to the people that watch me is like educational value, okay, knowledge. I want to inspire, motivate, give you some insights and advice from someone who's maybe just a couple steps ahead of you in the kind of self-improvement and productivity journey, and just give value in terms of knowledge, like stuff that you can use. So like this video, hopefully I'm going to give you insights on how you can get out of this cycle that I sort of outlined in the beginning of the video that you're probably currently in, and just to help you, that is the goal. And if you're watching content like this or content from people like Hamza, then you'll know that that content is super valuable, like that can really change lives. And the content that you're watching like this is not brain rot content. If you know who Hamza is as a self-improvement YouTuber, you'll know, if you used to watch him sort of when he started blowing up on YouTube and getting really big, that he would have this kind of animation at the beginning of his videos. It was called like the Jeffrey Adonis animation, right? And that is when Hamza started to get a bit more brain rotty. So brain rot is kind of like this meme culture or stuff that's just entertaining. And I'll get later on in the video, I'll talk about what specifically causes brain rot. But this kind of idea of something that's very funny or entertaining, the content that's like that is the type of content that rots your brain. If you're watching content to be entertained and to have fun, as pessimistic as it sounds, this is the kind of stuff that will rot your brain. But when Hamza sort of flipped from creating that kind of funny animation style that like Hooks uses in the beginning and switched over to more kind of raw, unedited, just advice, he took away a lot of the brain rot aspect of his content and left it for just, pure insight and value. And that's kind of what I want to do with this channel and have been trying to do with this channel for a long time now. So you need to just identify what brain rot actually is. And like the peak of brain rot content is watching YouTubers like KSI and Mr. Beast and stuff where you spend your time and attention focused in on consuming the content, focused in on the video, but the video is just not providing you with any value that you can use in your life, and your brain is just being rewarded for watching it, okay? And this is how people get hooked. This is why these YouTubers have so many views, right? That's why Mr. Beast makes millions and millions from his YouTube channel. It's just because he is capitalizing on people who have got a rotten brain and are basically hooked on this idea of getting serotonin and dopamine. And that leads me on to my next point, which is serotonin and dopamine. So we'll start off with dopamine. What actually is dopamine? Well, you probably already know, but I'll just briefly talk about what dopamine is. If you see a YouTube video pop up and you get a spike in dopamine because that's a YouTuber that you like to watch because they're entertaining and you find it fun to watch them, that dopamine increase basically makes it so that your brain becomes reliant on that. It's like a little reward signal. It's the hormone of motivation, okay? The more dopamine you have, the more motivated you are to go do something. That is why people get addicted to porn, because the big dopamine spike that they get right before watching the porn is what makes them hooked, right? It's that feeling of, oh yeah, we're gonna go watch some porn now, it's gonna be great. And then that kind of gets you hooked, right? It's the same with content. And the more cheap dopamine content you can watch, and like the worst example of this is TikTok, where the algorithm learns instantly what triggers your dopamine receptors in your brain, like what kind of content is getting you to click and watch. That is the dopamine release, and TikTok capitalizes on that. And that's when you become reliant on it, because nothing seems fun anymore, right? It's not fun to record a video or to do some productive work, because your brain would rather get a spike in dopamine instead. The next hormone is serotonin. Serotonin is kind of like the funny, happy hormone, okay? And this is the hormone that you get when you watch like a cute video of some cats or something, like, and you're kind of like, oh, that's really cute, right? You get like this serotonin, it's all nice and everything like that, that warm, fuzzy feeling inside. That serotonin, again, it's like dopamine. Your brain loves serotonin. So the more content that you watch that releases this big spike in serotonin, just is going to get you hooked on that type of content. And it's these two hormones that put together that you get that release in your brain when you watch a certain type of content, whether it's TikTok or from YouTube or whatever, that is going to cause you to become addicted, and it's going to cause your brain to basically rot, okay? So brain rot content is this kind of mindless, entertainment, funny, bullshit content. And the more of this content that you consume, the more your brain becomes reliant on it, or the more rotten that your brain is going to become. So the first bit of advice I'm going to give you is that we need to limit and try and remove the amount of brain rot content that we consume. So what is the best way to do this? Well, if you're the type of person who watches a lot of YouTube, what I would recommend is you just keep doing what you're doing now. Watching videos like mine, watching videos from Hamza, watching videos from Dan Coe, watching videos from creators who are more educational, okay? When you are spending your time and investing your time into watching content, that time would be best spent to get knowledge, okay? You're not gonna find in my videos any kind of over-the-top editing. You're not gonna find any kind of memes, okay? Maybe back in the day, but you're not gonna find any memes. You're not gonna find anything super funny in my videos, okay? I don't try and be really funny in my videos and try and make you laugh, okay? That's probably for two reasons. One, because maybe I'm not that funny, and two, because I don't want people to just be entertained and watch me for like an entertainer. I want you to get value out of my videos, and I'm fully aware that that means my channel will get 100 times less views than someone who's just funny. But at least I can help some people out, and you people that I help are going to stick around and actually be more valuable subscribers to me than like any of Mr. Beast's subscribers, if that makes sense. So that is the first thing you need to do. Just keep watching self-improvement videos instead of watching dopamine videos. I'm not saying up the amount of content you consume. I'm actually saying lower it, remove all of these bullshit YouTubers, and just start watching some YouTubers that will help you, okay? A good place to start with this is fitness, okay? When you're getting into the gym, watch some YouTubers on fitness, on how to do certain exercises, how to lose fat, how to build muscle, how to build your testosterone, stuff like this, okay? Watch these kind of YouTubers, and what's gonna happen is YouTube is gonna learn the kind of content that you now like. It's gonna kind of switch over to that, and you are not gonna get served up this kind of bullshit entertainment brain rot content anymore. Slowly over time, the YouTube algorithm is going to learn that you actually like to educate yourself, okay? You should use YouTube as a tool to help you going forwards, right? To help you achieve your goals. Again, if you're the kind of person watching this video, you probably have some hefty goals in life, okay? Some big things that you want to do. You don't want to be a normal average dude. You want to do some fucking cool shit that you can tell the grandkids, right? So again, use YouTube as a tool to help you to achieve that, not as something that's holding you back from doing that. Okay, what's the next bit of advice? So once you have changed the YouTube algorithm to kind of be more about educational content and not brain rot content, then you need to fix the other apps in your life that are holding you back, namely social media, okay? TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and what's the new one? Red Note or some bullshit, right? The Chinese one. Whatever it is that you're doing on these social media apps, I guarantee that the algorithm is, again, optimized to brain rot content, okay? Funny memes, like, you know, those videos where you see someone talking on a podcast, and then below the video, so like 2 videos in one video, and below the video there'll be some kind of like satisfying thing of someone like cutting some fruit, do you know what I mean, like some bullshit, or like maybe some like GTA 5 footage of like a car going down like a ramp and stuff like that, like a obstacle course, okay? And you're watching that kind of content where the user, the guy who created that video knows exactly what they're doing. They're very intelligent, trust me. And they put 2 videos in. So one of them is a podcast that you listen to at the top with maybe some advice, and your eyes are fixed at the bottom on like the GTA 5 footage of a car going down a ramp. Like, I've been here, bro. I know exactly what happens, okay? I used to be addicted to this kind of content, and I used to fucking watch it on Instagram, and it would be like, yeah, podcast footage, and then below that, like a GTA 5 obstacle course with cars going down. Why is that? Why have people made that? You know what I mean? And it's to just hook your attention, and you're like brain rot, and like your brain's like, oh, is the car going to get through the obstacle course or not? And then in the background, it's listening to the podcast, and then you convince yourself, oh yeah, I just listened to some Andrew Tate advice on a podcast, and like, yeah, I'm just working. Do you know what I mean? I'm working on my phone, bro. You're watching brain rot content, so you need to get rid of that shit. How do you do that? Well, there's 2 ways. You can do similarly to what you did with YouTube, and start to like posts from creators on social media that help you. But realistically, the creators who are providing the knowledge and trying to help people, it's more on long form content like this that you're going to find on YouTube. And realistically, on Instagram and TikTok, you're not really going to find creators like that. Maybe you will, but it's going to be more than likely that 99.999% of the content on Instagram and TikTok is brain rot content. The creators of this content don't care about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care if you achieve your goals. All they need to do is to take up as much of your time and attention as possible so that they can increase their retention rate, so that their videos get shown to more people, so that they make more money. Okay, understand that. The creators of these videos on social media don't give a fuck about you. So why would you give them your time and attention when you've got big fucking goals? Get rid of that shit, okay? I've been saying this on the channel for fucking ages, and I've not had social media for like 530 days now. I made a video on it a few weeks ago, but I literally deleted social media and not had it for like 1.5 years now. And that has been one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. Like, one of the best decisions I've ever made was to get rid of social media. So you've got 2 options. You can either kind of take the pussy route, which is to keep social media and kind of try and change your algorithm, kind of like YouTube. But honestly, the best decision you can make to avoid getting this brain rot content is to delete social media. And just ask yourself, what do you need social media for? Because if it's to message your friends and to stay in the group chats and you have like fear of missing out, then you can do 2 things. You can either just ring your friends and just be a normal person and communicate with your voice rather than sending memes and emojis to them and shit. Or you can just meet up with them in person and actually like build up your social skills and kind of go do cool shit together, or move on to like WhatsApp or something like that, right? You don't need to have a Snapchat group chat to communicate with your friends. And honestly, if you're friends with people who like refuse to get rid of social media and will only message you on Snapchat, and you never message them again after you get rid of Snapchat, then honestly, do you really need that guy in your life? Probably not. So yeah, that would be my recommendation, is to just delete social media. That's the best thing you can do to avoid brain rot content. So what do you need to do after you have limited the channels at which brain rot content is being delivered to you? We need to unrot your brain. And there's only one way you can do this, and it's going to be hard work, but you can definitely do it. If I can do it, you can do it. You need to go on a dopamine detox. And this is where for the next couple weeks, you're going to refrain from anything that is fun. And that sounds horrible, but trust me, this will work, okay? Because we need to restore your dopamine levels back to baseline. This is how we're going to unrot your brain. Basically, you just need to be bored. So you know that feeling when you're kind of bored and you just want to go through your phone and scroll for a bit and chill? We need to embrace that feeling of being bored, okay? And there's a couple ways you can do this, okay? You can do this through meditation. You can do this through thinking. You can do this through replacing when you would normally go on social media with going for a walk, or going to the gym, or doing something productive, or something that challenges you. Just replace the task with something else. This has been by far the best way for me to stay off social media. So not only delete it, but then actually stay off of it and be on this kind of dopamine detox, is to replace the stuff that I found fun and like motivational, and I kind of like the urges, you know, to go scroll through my phone. I've replaced that with this business, okay, this YouTube channel, okay, because I know I need to film content and to edit the videos. So I don't have time to go through social media. I'm kind of like, oh shit, I need to film a video today. So right now might have been a time where I just scroll through my phone. But no, I've got my phone on the tripod, I'm recording this video, okay? Even if this video gets no views, it's still beneficial for me to make this video because it means I'm doing this instead of. Do you know what I mean? So you just need to replace that time where you would usually be just scrolling through social media with something else. And if you don't want to be on YouTube, if you don't want to be on camera, then just start the gym, or go to the gym more, or go for a walk, or do a bit of research, maybe read a book, maybe research online into whatever business it is that you're in, or go on YouTube and watch people that are in your business space tell you how to do that business, if it's fucking SMMA or whatever it is, on how to get more clients or something like that. There's so many things that you can be doing that is literally where you do pretty much anything is better than being on social media, okay? So we need to unrot your brain by going on this dopamine detox. And yeah, again, the best way to do that is to just replace the time when you would spend consuming and getting that dopamine spike with producing or just working on yourself and upskilling yourself. The last thing I'll leave you on is, I don't know if you know who Rich Piana is. He was like, yeah, he died, but he was like this very famous bodybuilder. And I've been watching a couple of his videos recently because, again, I wouldn't really say they're brain rot content. He does have some good advice in there. But, you know, I watched a couple of his videos recently. And one of the things that really jumps out to me, it really took me off guard because he's kind of like this very rambunctious kind of guy, okay? He doesn't really give a fuck about anyone. You kind of think he's like this gym bro, like, you know, steroid user, whatever, like he doesn't give a fuck. But one of his workouts, he was like going through the workout and like how to do it, and he was training back. So he's talking about all like the lat pull downs and the rows and the all the various back exercises that he did. And then he did one exercise at the end of his workout that really threw me off guard. And it was where he gets on a bench, you know, where you do the bench press, right? He got on a bench, laid down back on it, and kind of put his head back and just closed his eyes. And he literally said this as a workout that he just thinks. Okay, so this might seem really weird, but he just sat on a bench and just thought about his goals, his ambitions, what he needs to do today, life, right? He just thought about where he's at in life, what he needs to do. I'll try and find the clip for you, but like this is genuinely what he did, right? Okay, so he might have done this every couple workouts where he just thought, and I think he didn't realize this, but he's just meditating, okay? He did the gym bro version of meditating where you just sit on a bench and just think, okay? And even if someone like Rich Piana, who was a very big social media guy, he was very big on social media, even if he was spending that time in his day rather than scrolling through his phone and looking through Reddit in between sets, he was just meditating in the gym, okay? And this really threw me off guard. I didn't expect this from this guy, if you know who he is. But it just made me think, like, fuck, even the guys who are, you wouldn't think they would be the kind of guys to meditate at all, were actually meditating. So spending the time to help heal your brain and unrot your brain by just thinking, right? Sitting and thinking about you, where you are in life, where you want to be, your goals, your ambitions, what kind of work do you need to do, what have you done this week? Just spending that time to just self-reflect and think, okay? This is probably one of the best ways that you can heal your brain, because your brain starts to think about itself. You start to think about yourself rather than just mindlessly consuming brain rot content. You basically just start thinking, okay? Thinking is the key word here of this video, okay? Think. You need to start thinking and using your brain for what it's meant to be used for. Your brain isn't just some vessel with which to store dopamine spikes and serotonin spikes and to slowly just become incapable of thinking and coming up with ideas and to be motivated, okay? And I think this is what's worked for me the most, just having that dopamine detox when I first got rid of social media, replacing it with something that I'm passionate about, like a project, okay, to replace the time when I would be spending like just scrolling through social media, actually replacing that time with something that takes up my attention, like I need my full focus for this video, okay? So if you can just replace it, and then just thinking just being bored and allowing yourself that opportunity to think. With me, you know, when I'm driving my car, I don't have any music on. I used to listen to music in the car. I used to even listen to podcasts, but now it's silence. Okay. So I'm driving my car and it's silence in my car. And it's just an opportunity just to think. Sometimes when I'm driving to work, I'll just think about how the YouTube channel's going, you know, how productive I feel. Have I got any videos that I need to do this week? What have we done this week? That's good, right? Just having the opportunity to think. So that is the last bit of advice I'll leave you on. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Hopefully there's some insights in here, some mindset shifts that maybe can help you to heal your brain and to get out of this cycle that you're in of brain rot. Because trust me, once you have been able to escape from this cycle of a reliance on content consumption, and your brain is kind of freed from that kind of dopamine hell that you're in, you're going to unlock so many abilities just to think and to be creative and to work and be productive. So yeah, hopefully you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I'd really appreciate if you left me a comment or like the video just to help it get sent out to more people. Just helps the channel. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, mate. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.